Does that mean I think the book is dead? I certainly hope not, because here's the problem. If the book is dead, where are we going to get the information that we're downloading to our handhelds and our devices? Are they just going to be articles? Are they going to be self-published stuff? What are they? A lot of people forget that our publishers are responsible for most of what we download, even today. And they will be well into the future as long as they can afford to stay in business. I think publishing itself is having to look at its whole, how they price things, what they think, how they do things. I think that on-demand publishing is going to become much more what's going to happen. In other words, they're not going to do a run of 5,000 items, which is a pretty good run today for most average books. What they're going to do is they're just going to have this book available, and they're going to sell what they sell of it. Now they're going to be aiming for 5,000, or they're going to be aiming for 10,000 or 1,000, but they're not going to publish it until they get the orders in. And so I think that, yes, there will be books, but remember, books, paper, is a format. And as people get less and less married to that format, there's still going to be books, but it might be in an electronic format. You see what I'm saying? So we might still be buying 500 Rowling, or whoever the Rowling is in 40 years, but we won't be buying that many paper, because there'll still be a few people that are married to the format, but I don't think there's going to be as many as people think that there are. You're looking at me with a horrified look.
No, actually, I'm glad we're going into this section. This is actually one of the topics they've been discussing. Mm-hmm. is print dead?
Mm-hmm. I love print. It's been probably the most successful format for disseminating knowledge that there ever has been, particularly when you start getting into paperbacks and being reasonable. Do you know how much I'm paying for a trade paperback now when I'm trying to do some replacements? Where I used to be able to buy a $7.95, $6.95 paperback of, say, the backlog of Danielle Steele or whatever. The publishers are getting sneaky now. They're putting out $12.95 to $16.95, slightly larger trade paperbacks. So I can't purchase a $9 paperback anymore that I would maybe pay $5 for with my discount. I'm buying a $16 that I'm now paying $9 for. And if you don't think that that has some implications on my budgets and what I can afford to purchase, think again. And you can think again about the public who was already struggling to buy a $7.95 paperback, now looking and saying, oh, I think I'll go to the public library and get this book here, because I certainly can't afford $14.95 for an old, Baldacci, an old whatever. So I think that the publishers, in many ways, in trying to, figure out what to do, I understand what they're doing, but I'm not sure it's going to work for them. I think they really, really, really have to consider that making books available electronically is the way that they're going to have to do it. And to find how to have successful partnerships with library vendors. And the reason I say that, it's not like selling an electronic book to one person and that's it, goodbye, thank you, la la, it's done. When you're talking about a public library, you have to have a way not only to obtain that, catalog it, process it. Well, you don't have to process it, thank you God, with virtual materials. But then you have to find a way to put it in front of the public and make it available to download. And I think one of the things that really worries me, and this is such awful thinking, but it's the truth, with AV, one of the reasons we keep having new versions of AV, I've been alive a long, long time. I remember 45s, 33 1/3, 78s, albums. My parents had some albums in 78s. Okay, and when I think of all the different formats, even some that never stuck, like 8 tracks, or the large silver DVDs that never did their thing Sony put out, you know, all these different formats. One of the AV marketers have discovered that there's a cash cow with AV, because what can happen is, okay, they're going to move into this new format of the materials. Not only do they sell everything that's new, but they sell the entire backlog again. You know, so let's just take the last, you know, CDs. Okay, you're not just selling everything that's new, you're selling all the Elvis, all the whatever, all the way back to Caruso singing, you know, on a scratchy old thing that they've improved with digital whatever. They've discovered a real cash cow. So if they change the formats to improve them over time, they can continue to make money from this huge backlog. Well, as we move into books in electronic formats, they could discover that cash cow too. Here's the new and improved. You know, right now, you know, Mobi Pocket, Adobe, blah, 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 blah. There's so many different formats. You know, Mac. You know, Mac doesn't go with anything, you know, and, you know, so they can sell not only what is available future, but they can sell everything that's back. So all of a sudden we'll be in this catch-22 of how long can you afford to keep a format, which is one of the things we struggle with AV every day. How long are we going to continue to carry? Well, we don't carry cassettes now, and you should hear some of the screams that go up about that. You know, so how long are we going to keep into CDs, which is a very fragile format? I look forward to a format that's not as fragile, you know. So, but it might be a format that's electronic, and then I have to make it easy for my customer to download, to understand the licensing, to get it. That's going to take time. It's going to take effort. So print isn't dead because it's still a very user-friendly format. But print may be dead because of costs and because we just need to move into this other format. And the rest of us will be collecting these old paper things. It'll be worth real money. Does that, and I don't know when it's going to happen, but I know it will happen.
No, that's fine. Okay, well, that's all we have for today. So thank you so much, Kathleen, for offering some time to the students. So thank you so much.
Okay.